Alright, so I ran out of space on my phone. So that's wonderful. Wonderful stuff. Don't know how it's gonna look. I probably should have checked while I was uh emptying my phone. But moving right along, because it's already 26 minutes long, we have some of the Ojama cards. And again, it's just one of those weird things of how old it is that we got new support, like Ojama Emperor of all things. Charming. Attractive. Beautiful! Oh man. The Ojamas are just. Why? Like, why are they a thing? Let's not. Let's look at something different, shall we? We have a bunch of Neos cards over here because, well, again, it was. Oh, but I suppose it makes sense that Neos got more support because the Neos archetype was a staple for Jaden, like just because it was the main character. Uh, oh yes, and oh wait, it's not Contact Out. It's remember Nex? That really weird sub archetype that went absolutely nowhere with Benio Spacious, like Marine Dolphin and was it Twinkle Moss? Or it was like an alternate version of Glow Moss. So weird. They never did anything with it. They didn't even complete it. Like we didn't get a next version of Black Panther or Hummingbird. But enough of that. Um, we have Chrysalis monsters. Pointless, absolutely pointless, because the Neospatial monsters are already terribly weak. Does it feel like it's on something? Strange. It feels like the folder is like caught in cables some reason. So more Neos cards, and finally I get to show you guys what the Elemental Hero Air Hummingbird looks like, because when I showed this off when I first got it, much like was it one of the other cards I mentioned earlier, I didn't know you could just tap on my phone to make it appear cleaner, make it look HD or as HD as it can get. But yeah, I just love this ultimate rarity with the sun rays coming through it. So good. I don't know how much it's worth because, well, it's Air Hummingbird. It's not, the best. But yeah, I wish I pulled the. I can't even remember. It's Neo Special Air Neos. Yes, Air Neos needs to be reprinted. More so than the Ojama Brothers. We can all agree on that. Now we have Cyber Angel cards, and I think there's still much more potential for a Cyber Angel deck. Just to have more cards based on Ballerina, like Giselle is a show that's happening right now. So okay, you could do Cyber Angel Giselle, and I think there's supposed to be based on something else. Like, is it Greek mythology or something else, like Natasha and Vrash? And then we have a Ultimate Rare Herald of Perfection. This is from the 5Ds era, and it feels thinner. It feels thinner for some reason. Actually, I think Cyber Knight mentioned it with like Dragonite Draco Equise that it felt thin, and maybe that's just another way they printed the ultimate rares. Is it? Yeah, that's probably as good as it's gonna get. This does look a bit messier. Still cool. It's just so weird. I don't know how to describe ultimate res. Looking grittier or more 3-dimensional. Whoops. I did have Etoil Cyber and a Blade Skater, but I traded them off because someone had the hots for them. But probably should have kept them just for my collection. Now we have some of the Felgrand cards, like Divine Dragonite Felgrand, and that was used in my Gagaga deck. Although I suppose I could have used it in my Mermail decks, because I relied on increasing their levels. So it was pure mermails, or like number hunter mermails, and not Atlantean mermails. But I do have everything for Atlantean mermails, as we'll see by the end. And now here's some maximum gold cards. So it's funny that I have 2 copies of Ghost Ogre Snow Rabbit. There's Feather Duster. I'll just get these out to show you in comparison, like I've done several times, Ultimate Rare Dark Requiem versus Ultra Rare Dark Requiem. Now, this was actually $90 when I got it first, but now it's dropped to $50. No, not even that. $40. It's dropped to $40 because it was reprinted in the Ghost from the Past set, which I've said it before, but Ghost from the Past was extremely underwhelming. I mean, do you guys agree with that? Oh man, what a waste. What a waste of a set. And it was supposed to be on par with, like, Dual Overload. And, what else came out? Like, Dual Power, right? Dual Power came out the year before that one. So, some other cards, and, yeah, we got all these, banned cards right here, although Glowbulb and Mecha Venomies for Crystal Needle Fiber. I wonder what would happen with Level Eater. Like, I would just like to see that, you know? Let's see Level Eater come back, even if they eroded it to once per turn. And then there's this Synchro Monster of all things, Rampaging Smash Tank Rhino Saber. It's when someone tries a little too hard to sound cool. Now, I made a video on these other cards that I got, that 8 out of 9 of these were from a guy just selling his old Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and sure, I'll pick up these. Like, they're in the older printing, which, you know, I'm a sucker for. But we have Yatagarasu, one of the most notorious cards in all of Yu-Gi-Oh!, as well as Legacy of Yatagarasu. So I've already had this card, but why is it called Legacy of Yatagarasu? Because technically, it should be Time Seal that is the Legacy of Yatagarasu, because it skips the opponent's draw phase. This one lets you draw a card. Like, what's the legacy in that? A bit confusing. Now, I might make a separate video discussing this archetype, the Banfish archetype, or Bannyfish, or Banish. Like, there's a way of making that pun work, I swear. You just gotta say it very specifically. Yeah, I really was hoping this deck would be something, but, you know, now we've got the Numeron Gate cards. They've never printed a number-type fish. And yet they had Shark of all characters. Who ran fish? Like Shark Stickers and Frilla Rabka. You know, because this deck also relies on banishing itself, we could have worked with Macrocosmos. And again, like Fish Depth Charge, Tribute a Fish, destroy a card. Like, it's not much, is it? Like a fish-type number monster? Or even a better version of Submersible Carrier Aeroshock, which, funny enough, hang on. They did print its original effect in the Eternity Code set. So now we have a Torpedo Takedown, which is like what it does in the anime. But it's also a Pot of Greed in some sense, because it lets you draw 2 cards. Oh, what do they do to Submersible Carrier Aeroshock? Like, inflicting 100 damage for every banished card? Oh, it's one of your own banished monsters, so it's even worse, because... yeah, your opponent would also have some banished cards, likely. Oh, what did they do to it? Yeah, you thought Bubble Man was bad. Like, look at Aeroshock. Actually, no, Bubble Man would have been banned. It would have been banned quicker than this commander. But maybe that's a subject for another time. The Banfish archetype. And now there's Time Fees, which is more of an engine, I fear, that Konami is going for with these guys. There's still some missing, but we got Time Thief double barrel from Ghost from the Past again. But it should have been its own archetype, like Subterrors, and what's another TCG exclusive archetype that was really good? Yeah, I don't know. I think they want it to be an engine rather than their own archetype, kind of like with Eldritch or Invokes. As what we've seen with meta players at tournaments. Now we've come to more water cards, and well, there's Torpedo Takedown again. And there are these 2 weird ones. Tetsudo Erat Newman and Newman Erat Tetsudo. So we swapped the names around. I don't know what they mean, but the level 1 monster says neither player can special summon monsters with 1800 or more attack, and the level 5 monster, which keep in mind with Legendary Ocean because it reduces their levels by 1, Could be a level 4 monster, and neither player can special summon monsters with 1800 or less attack. So I think there could be a lockdown with these cards to just shut your opponent off from special summoning. Wait, 1800 or more. So no, just negate their special summons entirely. Ooh, can you imagine if it was a way to build around these two cards? That would be scary. And there's Glacial Beast, which is a cool name, but I don't think they're going to do much with Glacial Beast because it was its own. No, it's an anime-only archetype for a while until Battles of Legend, and the monster cards were only good. But that's in my Blizzard Burn deck. Now we have the Deep Sea cards, Deep Sea Prima Donna and Deep Sea Aria. And I wonder what rarity this will be in the Megatins. And then we have the other Atlanteans, Dragoons, Infantry, and Marksmen. I think I got the names the wrong way around. When I said Marksmen, I meant Infantry before. And there's some more Deep Sea cards. And finally, to end this video off, we have the fish, white fish cards. Again, it's another weird little archetype, but well, it's just insulting, isn't it? We have a bunch of fish synchros, but no fish numbers. There's technically Aeroshock, but Aeroshock is terrible. And then we have Spiral Serpent, who's developed its own archetype in some way, and I think it has its own alternate win condition. So that's weird. Yeah, I don't know if there's a way of incorporating these guys into a Legendary Ocean deck or Mermails, but that's what I like about water monsters. They're just generic, and maybe they could work with Banfish. But what did you guys think? What stories do you have to share with your own cards that you've been collecting for all the years you've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh? What's the best pull you've had, or maybe your first card? What's your favorite Yu-Gi-Oh rarity? So, whatever it might be, comment below, subscribe to this channel for more Yu-Gi-Oh openings, deck profiles, and until next time, take care, mates.